Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Legends of Tomorrow. So let's start talking about this episode. Just wanted to say before I start talking about this episode, sorry that last week I did not have a review on this channel. I was not able to review the episode. Also, next week I will not be able to review the episode, but you can hear my thoughts on the Legends of Tomorrow podcast. We did, obviously, from last week, and then next week we'll also have our thoughts there. So, sorry about that. I want to update you for that. But let's start talking about this episode, which we see our gang in the 80s, and it kind of brings us back to the JSA Damien Darhk storyline, where Damien Darhk is teaming up with the KGB, and the team has to stop him because he's about to change history. Now, this is a huge episode for Professor Stein because once again he meets his younger self and he realizes, how the hell was I that jerk before? I've grown a bit. And it's interesting because he's starting to go back and revert back to not caring about people. And then once he saw himself, he's like, no, I'm not that guy. I do care about the people that are surrounding me. And it's also interesting to see Sarah take a step back because we're usually very, used to seeing a very confident Sarah, very, great captain, doing everything right. And in this episode, we actually see Sarah wanting to take more of a revenge angle instead of trying to protect her team, which is something that we never really see with Sarah. Obviously, we've seen the revenge part, but never really taking up the team's time or, risk of their lives because of it. So here we actually do see that. She risks her team to get revenge on Damien Darhk. So Damien Darhk is obviously a very sore spot for her. And then we also have the story between Ray and Heatwave, where Ray's still trying to figure out who he is, which is a nice parallel with Stein's story. And then he realizes, alright, I'm not Captain Cold. And Heatwave's like, yeah, you're not, but that's okay. It's okay for you to be you. So you have a really fun dynamic between those two. Doesn't mean that they're not partners. It just means that Adam is gonna, or, Ray is just going to be his own type of hero. He still needs to figure that out, though, what type of hero he wants to be. And then we do have the JSA plot with Vixen and Nate, where they actually meet an older Obsidian, find out that the JSA is not exactly where they want it to be. And it does explore some of the older roots between Rex and Vixen, which was cool, but I feel like that was a little bit more of a side story than the others I mentioned before. So what did I think of the episode? I thought it was a solid episode. I actually liked it a lot more than I expected because I haven't really been liking the Legion of Doom / JSA story as much as I wanted to because I was so hyped up for it, and then the first two episodes kind of disappointed me. But here I thought it was a solid episode. They utilized the Legion of Doom pretty well. It wasn't too over the top, and they utilized Damien Darhk in a good way. JSA story I felt was the one that was a little bit slower. I still do feel like I want to care for the JSA a little bit more in this world of Legends Tomorrow, and I hope I could say that in future episodes. I do feel like that was more of a side story, but overall this was a good character story for Stein, Sarah, and Ray, I think, mostly. I would say this is probably a really good episode for Stein most of all. Did this episode blow my mind? No, but it definitely was better than I expected, and they definitely had fun in the 80s and had a lot of references, so I like that. We're going back to Jonah Hex's age, which, I'm also excited to see if they could do more with Jonah Hex compared to what his first introduction was in Season 1. So those are my thoughts for this episode of Legends Tomorrow. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.